YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today, guys, well, it's been a while since we've actually made this video, though. Sorry for that one. It got busy for a couple of days. But from our new selection pack that came on the 27th, we got some newer and spicy cards into the game. So, well, not too spicy, though, but it's still pretty much great for some other archetypes. And not to mention, we have also dragon maids. So pay no attention to the Korikara here. I'm just uh, putting that one as just an addition to like a fun card to my deck. You can run a third copy of Lancer if you wish, just to make it like a proper one. But anywho, so I just had fun with the third copy of, or one copy of Korikara here. You can change that one in your games or whatsoever. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want a deck list about this, it's gonna be in the comment section below, as always. So, with the new Dragon Maid supports, we have here our first copy, Dragon Maid Charmba, which allows you to spell summon one Dragon Maid monster from your graveyard or banishment. And also the Fusion monster, which is Lady's Dragon Maid, which typically summons another Dragon Maid monster from your deck to your field. A really good card as well, and during your standby phase, you can fuse by the cards that is banished as well or in the field, which is amazing as it is. So, I think that's basically it. Nothing that you can actually like change with this deck. So far, Dragon Maids are very much playable, and it can even go up against like high tier decks as well, like Ryzeal or Malice. You know, if you have the right cards, of course. But anywho's, our build here runs with the Dark or Evaporation Dragon, which goes into a copy of Light and Darkness Dragon for additional interruptions or negates, as you might call it. So your normal one card starters is going to be Kitchen Dragon Maid, Parlor Dragon Maid, and even the one copy of Chamber Dragon Maid, which it is unorthodox to normal summon this though, because most of the time you just need to spell summon this with the help of the Lady's Dragon Maid. But so on, that is one of the one card starters. That is one of the one card starters that you can play with. Also, Sangan Kaimin is also here, but it's just on one copy. But nevertheless, it is still pretty good support as well for Dragon Maids. Nothing that I've actually like. Oh yeah, we forgot almost the new Fusion Monster as well. So Philia Regis, which is a really nice card. So during the main phase, you can target one card your opponent controls, then banish it. Then if you banish a card on the field, you can return one Dragon Monster you control to the hand. So it is a pretty good card if you're running this with Dragon Maids, because they really love to bounce cards from their field to the hand. You can also return one Dragon Monster you control to the hand or extra deck, and if you do, spell summon this card. So this is from the graveyard effect. So it's amazing that you can have this card in your arsenal as well. Not to mention, there are other cards as well. I think you can just get this one from, I forgot what deck that you can get this one. I think it's from the Dragon Maid deck or the structure deck in the shop. And also one Boral Furious Dragon just for the one pop as well. I can't believe that this deck can actually like go up against higher tier decks as well. But yeah, it was a shocker to me in my first few games. But anyways, that is your deck profile there, guys. And like I said earlier, don't mind the Korikara. I just wanted this one just for an addition to the deck. I think it didn't come out from time to time. I think most of the time it's just going to be Artifact Lancea though, so might as well gonna remove that one here. But I think I have a replay with regards to Korikara. Anyway, I don't know. But anyways, that is your deck profile there, guys. I will showcase you guys the replays that I had with this deck, and maybe later on we can check out the new Super Quantum deck as well. So hopefully that would pan out for us or favor us if ever we're gonna play that one. Anyways, that is the Dragon Maid deck. Let's move on to the replays. Okay, so here we are with our first replay, guys. So we have one Maxi, two Evaporation Dragon, one Parlor, and a copy of Crossout. Now, typically in the bane of every combo deck is always going to be Maxi or Mulcharmies, but most of the time it's going to be Maxi. Anyways, Dragon Maid isn't really that problematic with regards to a Maxi. But anyways, our only starter for this here, since we're going first, is going to be Parlor Dragon Maid. So we started that off, dumping Lorpar, banishing the two monsters for Lady's Dragon Maid. There you go. And then we spell summon a copy of Chamber. Chamber, get Hospitality. We link off into Striker Dragon. Your typical combo that we used also in our guide. You can check that one out if you want. So with that, you go for Hospitality, summon to the field, and dumping the new Charmba monster. And then lastly, going to a copy of Heretic Seal. Now that is, at this point, this is still a pretty good or a solid card to actually play with. And with this, Evaporation in the field, banishing one Fusion Monster, level 8, and going for a Furious Dragon. Setting the cross out, and that's basically it. On your opponent's turn, we go into a copy of Ladies, and then our guy is going to chain with Super Poly here, pitching into a copy of Ashen. So at this point, we know that our guy is going with Ashen cards, fuse into Garura. And since our lady managed to use its effect, we can summon the Shio to the field. And then we chain our Maxi here. With Shio, spell summon the Dragonmaid from our graveyard to the field and gaining access to Hospitality for a follow-up next turn. Our guy is going to use the field spell here. Luckily, we can have Shio pop that one because the field spell is always going to be the main goal for the Ashen archetype. So we pop that one, summon the House Dragonmaid to the field. He will normal summon the Priestess here, and then going for a copy of SP Little Knight. So he's trying to banish the House Dragonmaid, and then use the effect of Garura for the draw. So what we need to do is just remove the house and the two monsters in the field. So the Boral use its effect to pop the SP Little Knight and of course the House Dragonmaid. So there you go. Then our guy is gonna go for the new card, getting a copy of Ashen to our side of the field, which of course it is pretty good. Plus the newer support as well for the Ashen archetype, which is Chaotic Element. It's amazing that this card is really good. I think you can also use this one for other archetypes like Cyber Dragons or K9 if ever we'll get them in the near future. But anywho's, our guy's gonna go for Temple of the Snake Eyes, putting the Devil Star in on the back row. Then summon the Vetoes on the field. Now the problem with the Vetoes, if you're playing Ashen cards, is if this card is removed from the field to the graveyard, it destroys every monster in the field, which is pretty annoying. So our guy's gonna go for Ashen, the Endless. I will use the Furious Dragon here, trying to pop. Our guy's gonna go for Little Knight, and of course, I want everything to be destroyed on the field so that we can continue on with our combo. So there we go. And so that, of course, the trap card can't do anything as well. So we go for Hospitality, spell summoning the House Dragonmaid here, or the Lady's Dragonmaid here, then summoning the Parlor, pitch in a copy of Changeover, normal summon the Kitchen, get a copy of the Think Hack, and then bouncing back the Kitchen to our hand for a Changeover. There you go, and then go for Changeover. Summon a copy of Shio here. And Shio, oh yeah, Borreload summons a Link Monster, and then we can go for our game. And this is basically game over because we already got a copy of Sangen Kaimin. I forgot I didn't use the effect of Shio at this point because it's just for the Sanbe phase. So there you go. During the battle phase, our Parlor Dragonmaid is gonna shift one card from the graveyard to the field, and then go for Sangen Kaimin, spell summon the Fire Dragon monster to the field, and then it will trigger the effect as well, special summoning the last Dragonmaid monster from our graveyard to the field. So that is basically lethal. So yeah, that's our first game. It was amazing, or not that amazing though, because you know it's Ashened. But that's our first game. Let's move on to our second game. Alright, so here we are with our second game. We have Maxi, one Kitchen, one Artifact Lancia, one Triple Tactics Talent, and a copy of Sangen Kaimin. So our guy is gonna go first, and this is Orcust slash Mitsurugi here. So we'll go for Gear Suit here. We will chain with Maxi just to bait any interruptions or any called buys. So there was nothing, so he goes for Prayers next. We go for Lancia, so this is a big counter to Orcust at this point on. And we can manage the draw without any fear of like doing anything. So our guy is gonna spell summon a monster. There you go. And then our the Gears dumps a copy of symbols, the symbol, and then with the Saji gets a copy of the ritual. Really forgot about the names here, guys. So pardon me if ever I forgot anything. So there you go. Abakiri sent to the graveyard, getting a copy of Prayers. And then with the two monsters, we go for, or they'll go for a copy of Dynamundo during our turn. So we just basically need to negate this card. And then go on with our combo, Parlor to the field. And since that doesn't really matter because, you know, we can just remove these cards from the field and in the graveyard for the fusion summon for the lady. But before that, we go first with Evaporation Dragon, and our guy just went ahead and go for prayers here, using both effects, getting Habakiri, and then spell summon a copy of Murakumo from the graveyard, which of course triggered the effects of a board wipe. So we go for Triple Tactics Talents next. Our guy's gonna try to negate, which of course I will just dump one card to the graveyard for the negation. And we got really a bad hand. So at this point, all we need to do is just go for battle, go for second Kaimin, spell summon, or get a copy of Kitchen and then spell summon it. You get Think Heck, and dump it to the graveyard. Main phase 2, we banished both cards. Spell summon the Lady Dragonmaid here, then going to Chambers to Hospitality, like our dear old combo that we did on the guide. Striker Dragon next, then Hospitality. Afterwards, we'll summon the Chambers to the field, and then lastly going to a copy of Hieratic Seal. With this, we set our call by, and that's the end of our turn here. So this doesn't really do much if ever it's on your opponent's side, or yeah, it's during your turn. But yeah, only on your opponent's turn. So during this anime phase, our lady is going to be activated. Our guy's going to chain with Forbidden Droplet. So at this point, he just dumped a copy of a monster, so we can't interact with that. But we can go with Called By first just to remove the interaction. And then are just going to banish a copy of, I think I chose Orcust Harpor, yeah. Orcust Harpor here, using the Hieratic Seal as well. There you go. And yeah, just to like wipe everything there, and then the droplet won't even trigger or won't even target any card. There you go. So Shio will be summoned to the field, and then spell summon another body from the graveyard here. I think it got Chambers here, Chambers to the field, getting Hospitality for follow-up next turn. Our guy's gonna continue on. Symbol's gonna banish, targeting the Girsu. We need to negate that one there. And since he already used the effect of Murakumo, so we're actually safe. And then we summon House Dragonmaid next. For the next turn as well, we can gain more access to other Dragonmaid cards. There you go. So with that, we'll summon the Kusanagi. Kusanagi tributes the Murakumo. Activate, gets one more card, and so on and so forth. Spell summoning the Murakumo to the field for another board wipe. And then lastly going for a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. Now, I was really curious why he did that though. He could just go for some like couple of hits there just to lower my life points, but I think he's going for, or he might have missed a card because he could have gone with Goblin here and then going for Mermaid next. I think there was some luck that happened earlier, so I don't know. But anyways, he just went for battle here after using the ritual, going for Habakiri. So he forgot that he already used the effect of Murakumo here. So that was actually good for us. We managed to continue on with our combo. But this guy just summoned Little Knight here just for a failsafe, banishing a copy of Churba, which of course is not really a big problem because we can still cycle it back with the effect of Lady's Dragonmaid. So during our turn, we drew into something bad, but luckily we still have the copy of Hospitality here. Spell summoning our Lady from the graveyard. Lady spell summoned the Parlor. Parlor dumps a copy of Tidings, and then banish the two monsters there for a copy or second copy of Lady as we're going into battle. And with that, use our effect of Tidings, spell summon a copy of Kitchen there. I really thought that would go through into battle and then yes, swap those cards, but it didn't. So on the main phase 2, we just go directly into a copy of Hieratic Seal just for our game. On the standby phase, we can just summon our one negate or one interruption, and that's basically the board. So summon Shio to the field, Shio spell summon the Chambers, get Hospitality next just for a follow-up next turn, and then he can't do anything. So majority of the cards that he sent to the graveyard are all Mitsurugis. And Orcust doesn't really have like any proper or strong ones as well. So he just passed turn and then we went for battle here. So during battle, chamber swap with Think Hack, and then go for battle. So that's our game number 2, guys. Let's move on to our last game. Okay guys, so here we are with our game number 3, and yes, this is the game that I actually used Kurikara here. So it's not that much, like I said earlier, you can remove the Kurikara for a third copy of Artifact Lancia. So this is just a fun card to actually use. So it's up to you if you want to use it though. But you know, Nurse Dragonmaid, we have Chamber, we have Hospitality, and we have Climbing. So a really good hand here, but we don't really have any stopper for any interruption. Luckily, we're going up against heavy metal, or like I forgot this archetype. So our guys gonna go for the Zoa. We managed to spell something because of the Zoa's effect. Go for Chamber. Chamber is trying to search. Our guy is gonna use for is gonna use Ash Blossom, which is pretty good since we don't really have any problem with that. Getting a copy of Max Metalmorph, and then spell summoning a copy of Red Ice Metal Claw Dragon. Gaining a copy of the Max Metalmorph again. This is another Max Metalmorph. And then go for Metal Zoa X. So at this point, we draw into a copy of Kitchen. So that's basically one of the things that you need to understand with this deck as well. Since we have Nurse, Kitchen, Chambers, and Parlor as one of your normal summons, you're gonna see a majority of the time either 2 or 3 copies of your starters as well. So that's one like minor downside for the deck, but most of the time it's not really like a big issue. So with this, we go for Kitchen first, getting a copy of Thick Neck, but our guy is gonna go for Imperm here. So it's not totally like a big problem because he activated the effect of Metal Zoa X here, so we can sacrifice that for the Kurikara. And there you go. Animation's still good though, by the way. Go for Hospitality here, trying to summon up the field, and then Thick Neck will be sent to the graveyard. Sad to say our guy already is prepared with a Called By there, so we can't do anything about it. So yeah, it was pretty sad. So we went for battle without any like the higher level Dragonmaid monsters, and then going for a copy of Ferretic Seal. Since this guy doesn't really have any follow-up by the next turn, we're pretty much sorted. We spell summon his very own Metal Zoa X here, and then we save the Kaiman for the next turn, if ever. And you know, he bricked, and that's basically the last game that he'll ever run. Going for battle next, and that's how we ended the game. So it's easy enough, you know, that's, you know, with a Kurikara, just a fun replay that I want to add here though. But the new Dragon Maids are really nice. So with that, let's move on to our final conclusion with the deck as well. So let's go. Okay guys, so final summation for this deck, our final conclusion for this deck. Yes, the Dragon Maid deck is very much playable, really playable. I do think that this is close to being a tier 3 deck so far. But minor problem with, or the reason why it's not really like totally a tier 3 deck is because, like I said earlier, you'll have a couple of Kitchen, Parlor, and even Chamber as one of your starters as well for the Dragon Maid archetype, or even the Nurse. But yeah, most of the time you're gonna see like 2 or 3 couple of your starters on your hand. You can cut a number of copies of them though, if you wish. But it's basically like 50-50 though, because the majority of the time you can see some other like dragon monsters as well. Also, the Evaporation Dragon isn't really like a total brick. I just added a copy of Nurse here just in case I want to normal summon the Nurse and then spell summon another Dragon Maid for another like material that you can use. But it's up to you if you want to use that though. So far, yeah, I had really fun with this deck. Really glad that this is playable now, especially with the Fusion Monster supports. But anyways, what are your thoughts on the newer Dragon Maid supports? Are you still playing it, or are you playing it with another variant as well? So that is it for today, guys. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.